I'm going to get through the content on my screen as fast as I can, and then I'm going to explain it and trail out for 15 minutes. Try not to waste your time. 2,000-foot Adirondack, Iowa State University climatologist Dr. Ethan Trowbridge, working for 14 years at the U.S. Geological Survey's Geomagnetism Division and Core Sciences Division. Talks of a Nibiru cover-up. Nibiru will ravage the Earth. Just like the invisible Dr. Shimshunk, this person is a made-up character. The only references I can find are a Twitter page, which isn't a scientist or isn't claiming to be a scientist, and a YouTube page, again, that isn't claiming to be a scientist. To confirm or deny this, contact the Iowa State University and ask them if anybody went for a doctorate or completed a doctorate and received a doctorate in climatology or anything else with the last name Trowbridge, and give the list of names. I'm going to send them an email saying, yeah, I would like that list. Trowbridge is a reasonably unusual name, and what's the point of credentials if I can't corroborate them? The only way I could corroborate this is contacting the university and saying, I want you to corroborate whether or not they have a doctorate from here, or if this person ever went here. And yes, I'm going to make it to where it's one sentence after another, and or, so that they can't find an excuse not to confirm it. Dear colleges and universities, when people claim they have a degree from your location, confirm it or deny it. What's the point of having a degree if you don't confirm or deny these things? Yes, I'm sending a link to this video to them, as well as the U.S. Geological Survey in an email to geomagdata@usgs.gov. And by the way, if anybody's going to spam the hell out of it, trying to make sure the server crashes, they run a big iron server. It doesn't crash. It's crash-proofed. I'm going to ask them, have you ever had anybody work in any part of the USGS, but specifically geomagnetism and the core sciences divisions, named Trowbridge? Any name, anybody. It doesn't matter if they're a scientist. I don't care if it's an intern. Because someone is claiming a false level of authority by claiming you as the authority and claiming Iowa State University as the authority. Meanwhile, they're anti-authority, anti-establishment, iconoclasts, but they need to have authentication through a university or through a government location. Anyway, the only reference I found that had a name that was similar are the names Arthur Colton Trowbridge and Raymond M. Trowbridge. It's the only thing that came up associated even a little bit. It was with the Department of Interior for the Geological Survey from 1940 to 1941, and it was only in a bibliography. Maybe they're relatives. Or maybe this is a doctor who's insanely old and changed his name or something. Anyway, let's go on to the next part. I'm going to cover this part. It's totally unrelated, but I'm going to put it in here in the title somehow so you can find it if you're curious. Against the backdrop of all the hot controversies that use archives to preserve the proof which many people want to have disappeared, to prevent you from relying by omission. Everybody I've ever done this stuff to. People that want the proof to disappear so they can retell the lie and recycle the story. We can only guess why domain registrars, employees, want to renege on the registrar's neutrality and arrogantly use dirty methods such as threatening to block the archive's domain or disrupt its ability to be seen or add delay times in it. Their intention is to censor website content. If the internet is your archive isn't safe. If the archive isn't safe, everything is lost. See also an artist, I think his name is Dennis Cooper, who used to have a blog, and somebody special snowflaked at Google and shot it down. I'm not sure what his artwork was, but they did everything every YouTuber's gone through. They won't tell you why, they won't let you recover any of it, and they do everything in their power to be as infuriating as possible and say, it's not our fault, you were asking for it, I'm not guilty. Archive.is, like archive.org, gets attacked on a regular basis. Really regular. But Archive.is does not obey the robots exclusion or the no index rule that says that a site should not be indexed by a search engine, because it's initiated by you. When you use it, you have to sit there and it uses your information and credentials to authenticate a user, not their company, not their website, a user, retrieving it. It grabs what you've seen on the screen and maybe even pulls from your cache with your permission, so that the archiving is done as a snapshot using partially your browser. The reason for this is they can legitimately say, we just snapshotted what another user wanted. We're not a search engine, so you can't exclude us. The rules on the internet, and it's not just a convention, it's not just an idea or a politeness, is that if you're a search engine like Google or Yahoo, you can be excluded because you cause too much bandwidth. And that is a real problem. I've run a website server a couple of times, and I basically just had to tell the system to lie to any indexers by feeding them a page that said no. And then I found out about this robots exclusion thing. But that also means that people have decided to get archive.org to let them redact history, the right to be forgotten. They contact them and say, we changed it to robots.txt equals no. We want you to retroactively delete the website. Why? We don't have to do that. We'll sue you. And it's not part of the standard for it, and it's not really a good idea. So I use other archives to archive archive.org because archive.org does not have a robots.txt rule. It doesn't exclude you from grabbing it. And it won't exclude Google Cache either, because they don't want to. They're an archive. It defeats the purpose. So what that means is they have to have a lot of money, because they get archive law. Archive.is only does it manually, and it does tell search engines, no, you can't do this. So you can use it to back up the other. And I've done this. I posted images on Imageure. Some of you may have noticed that. And you get an Imageure link, but next to it is an archive.is, which is a copy of it, so that when, not if, Imageure erases things because people don't like me posting facts, there's an archive of it. In the past, YouTube and Google Plus would let you archive their pages, just like you could do Twitter and Facebook postings, so that a person could never claim they didn't type that. But Google special snowflakes, so you can't archive copies of their Google Plus pages. They won't let you. Now, it doesn't exclude it legitimately. It inserts a blank page and says, screw you. And on YouTube, you used to be able to look up just the comment section, which is where most of the crap happened, and archive it. But someone complained that their commentary, their political campaign, was getting outed for doing this, so people could track down who said what to who and for how many cookies. Because people would post a video saying, hi there, my name is Wabtech, and here's what this person said, and here's a full screen grab, and here's the archive proving they did it. So Google got rid of the ability to do all comments dot blah blah blah, so you could look it up and not have to watch the video. It cut into their money, I'm sure, but the main reason they did it was so they could keep it from being archived. So you had to archive basically the first page of comments only on YouTube, instead of all of them, which it would let you do, because they stupidly enabled that kind of scripting. They even had page numbers, so you could say page whatever. Yeah, being able to prove that someone openly and publicly posted something getting destroyed, along with an artist getting deleted because somebody complained. Facts don't cause problems. You shouldn't be able to censor facts. You shouldn't be able to censor speech, but you sure as hell shouldn't be able to censor a fact. Anyway, let's go on to the next layer. Now, why am I bringing all this up? Here we go. I've had to modify the way I post things in the description because YouTube then decided to do word wrap on everything. In the comment section and in the description for a video, if you type something and you hit enter, enter is ignored in many cases. They're experimenting with this because it's extremely disruptive for you formatting something in a description or in a comment, and it makes it to where you can't archive it as easy. It's an arms race against preventing people from deleting their behavior. How about this? Why do I let myself be seen on videos most of the time? Because it proves I posted it. It's a way of defending yourself from being deleted. The video contains your face. Sometimes I say the name of the archive. I'll say one of the archive names now. Archive.li, archive.is, and archive.today are different URLs to go to because the domain name host and domain name registrars were messing with them. They also have an IP address you can go to, it's a string of numbers, so you can get to it, which doesn't depend on anybody approving of you being able to see it. I asked the owner of the archive to put that on his blog.archive.is because that's his blog. He also has an RSS feed and a Twitter. Now, why am I needing this information? Because Google doesn't cache things permanently. Because Google's actively deleting stuff, going out of their way to do so. They tear down a site that you could even pay for at one time to have permanently up. They just changed the terms of use. They changed the contract. Contracts are an agreement between two people, and the agreement, if you do a large corporation, is that the corporation has the right to completely kibosh it, not you. We reserve the right to violate the whole purpose of a contract, but you can't. So what's the point? Click wrap licenses. Abusing the robots exclusion standard to keep people from finding out what you did last summer. And every summer since then. Anyway, getting to the propaganda part of this. Someone's Bones website, which is where the story for Ethan Trowbridge originated from, is the only source from it. It's a single source, and does not cite any citations. Doesn't cite any sources. People who want to repeat this propaganda, and it is nothing but propaganda, don't care about that. They just want something that sounds plausible. It's called an appeal to authority. It appeals to authoritarians. I'm not an authoritarian. I tell you that you're appealing to them or like them. Republican National Committee members feed off of people who deny that they need to have a big brother or a big daddy running their life for them. The government's trying to big brother us. Yeah, but you want to be the big brother. You want to be second from the top of being able to control people. You like the pyramid scheme. Pyramid scheme. One leader on top, figurehead, almost no real power. People in the middle have all the power, but they don't really feel comfortable because the ones above them can control it. And the people at the bottom who don't feel they have any power, but they outnumber all of their leaders 100 to 1. Dangerous situation to maintain, so it makes everybody near the top very freaking paranoid. And they will do anything to maintain it, including propaganda aimed at other countries to make themselves look good and make everybody else's country look bad. There's a Chinese propaganda network that operates within the United States. I'll put a link below in the video for that. They literally operate within the United States. They're a front group for Communist China's propaganda division. There's one from Russia. Do you remember all those I Love Russia and Meanwhile in Russia videos that started up out of nowhere? Yeah, that was a propaganda campaign. It was a salesmanship thing. It's a public relations stunt. Anyway, each of these groups, along with Northern Korea and every other country, eventually finds out people are doing this stuff and they out each other. I'm not mentioning the United States, but we find out that RT is a propaganda source. They do normally post useful information, but they always bend it a certain way. Fox News is a propaganda arm for the Republican National Committee. I don't even know how many news things are for the Democrats. What a misplaced name. Almost as badly misplaced as Republican. Anyway, the Someone's Bones website is run by a guy who apparently is from a former Eastern Bloc country, and he's a propaganda site. And he posts these things, and people unquestioningly, credulously, repeat it. It's propaganda. That's the end of the video. Please support your local archive if you can. Bye.